I want to teach you guys a little bit about what I call the 70% rule. All right. This is a tool that most investors use when they're looking to purchase a property. So what they do is they find a subject property and they see what's the market value for other properties in that area. All right. For now, we're going to call that the ARV, the after repair value of your subject property. So what they do is they take the ARV, the after repair value, and they multiply it by 0.7 or, by 70%. And so what you do is this. Got it up here. I hope you guys can see it. I know my whiteboard isn't that big, hopefully I get a bigger one, size matters, right? What they do is they take the 100,000, multiply by 0.7, and what you get is 70,000, right? So that number, that 70K, is what you should potentially get the subject property for. That's what you should be looking to purchase it for. Now, what if that property needs repairs? What if, it needs around $10,000 in repairs? That number isn't good enough anymore. So what you do is you take the 70K and you subtract it by the dollar amount in repairs. Okay? So we said it needed $10,000 in repairs, probably some kitchen, bathroom remodel, something like that. $10,000, that brings us to 60K. Okay? So $60,000 is what you should purchase the subject property for. No more. If you can get it for less, so be it. If they'll let you buy it for less. But you should not go over that number. Okay? And don't think that you're beating somebody out of their home because you offered them 60K. Okay? You're not. You're not. First of all, you're an investor. And you, as an investor, you need to always stick to your numbers. All right? Don't try to make the numbers work for you. You stick to your numbers. Second of all, this person is in a distressed condition. They may need this $60,000. Whether you think you're beating, that's on you. If you think you're beating somebody out of their property, they may need that money. You can't determine someone else's need because your emotions. Okay, so you may skip off even offering them this 60K because of what you're feeling, and you won't be able to meet that person's needs at all. You could have if you would have offered them the money, but you didn't because you felt like they wouldn't accept it. So you never know what somebody else's needs are. Okay, so don't assume. All right. So what you do is you purchase the property for 60K if they accept your offer. And then you remodel it. It's going to take you probably, if you're good, you got a good team, 5 weeks. All right? 5 weeks. So after the 5 weeks are done, you put the property back on the market. You can do it by yourself. You can, put it on the market on your own for sale by owner. Or you can list it with an agent. I would rather you list it with an agent because a lot of people don't know what they're doing. I mean, you may have sold a home before, your personal home, but that doesn't make you a professional at doing it. Even investors that I work with, they've sold many homes, but they still, at the end of the day, use a real estate agent to sell the house for them. Okay, so if you don't want to handle your buyer's side of the paperwork and contracts and addendums and all that other stuff that goes with selling a house, use a real estate agent, and that's going to cost you around 6%. Okay, 6% of the sales price, because what you're going to do is turn around after you're done with the remodeling. You're going to turn around and list it for this $100,000. All right, you're going to hopefully it sells for that $100K or over. But we're just going to stick to the $100K because I ain't too bright. I like to use small numbers. So your home sells for $100,000 and you list it with an agent for 6%. So 6% of 100,000, I'm going to do it like this, 0.06 of 100,000 is $6,000, 6K. Right? And you're also going to have to pay closing costs. I'll say that's around 2%. So I'll multiply it by 0.02. It's around $2,000. So I added up here at 2K. All right? Now you got the property for 60. So you put 10 and you put you got it for 60. Would have got it for 70, but you had to put 10 into it. So you take your 100,000 minus 70, all right? And that's 30K, right? And your net profit would be somewhere around $22,000. So you would add your commissions and your closing costs together, which is 8K. Minus 30K, and it'll get you what your net profit would be. It's around $22,000. All right. So it's going to take you roughly around 2 months to sell this property. 5 weeks for the renovations. Another probably 35 days to sell the house. Around 2 months. 2 months to make $20,000. That's not bad. That's not bad. You may run into some issues selling this house. And my loan officer, Danny Tokar, he just we just ran into this situation with the last closing we had. The property was sold 2 months prior to us getting into contract, and my buyer was an FHA buyer, and it violated FHA flip rules, meaning that the property had to be seasoned 8 months before we even went. I mean, 8 months. It had to be seasoned 90 days or 3 months before we even signed a contract or they accepted an offer. So you may run into that problem. You might not be able to accept FHA buyers, but who cares? You have conventional buyers and you have cash buyers out there. And 2 months, $22,000 in your pocket net is not bad, man. You're going to have to pay taxes, but there's ways around that too. All right? So that concludes my tutorial on the 70% rule. Make sure if you're an investor or a future investor, somebody that's looking to fix and flip, you always follow this rule. Always do not violate it. You follow it to the T, because as soon as you mess up and you say, well, I can offer an extra 10 because I want this house, it's going to bite you in the ass every time. Okay, so make sure you follow this rule. I hope I taught you guys something.